You said you were going to lock in 5 months ago. You said you were going to lock in 3 months ago, then 2 months ago, and you said it over and over. How many times have you said you were going to lock in? You're really going to focus. You're going to press in this moment. You said, you know what? I'm going to really just focus on my goals and do what I know I need to do, seek purpose, and accomplish everything I set out to. How many times have you said that? You said, oh yeah, I'm going to lock in. Text your friends. I'm going to lock in. No. Like, it's so incredible to me how many people will say, oh yeah, I'm going to lock in. I'm really going to focus. And then literally 2 weeks later, they're back to the same bad habits. You know, I can speak on this is because the same things happened to me. You know, you say you go through this ritual where you may be scrolling on Instagram or YouTube Shorts or TikTok. You see a motivational reel about someone saying you need to go isolate yourself, for 6 months. It just takes 6 months or a short period of time to just focus and be able to achieve all your goals. And it's a bit of sacrifice, but it's worth it for your whole entire life. And you get that motivation. It has like amazing cinematics or something, or see this young person in a similar situation that is triumphant in what they set out to accomplish. And then you're like, I can do that too. You have that brief period of motivation for like maybe a good few days or maybe even a week. You go and you're really making progress. And after that, you completely stop. You make no progress anymore. You go back to the same battle habits. And you can fix that so easily. Here's what I'm doing. First, I want you to really set up a vision board, set up a bunch of goals, set up what you want to achieve, and give yourself 12 months to achieve it. For your vision board, though, I want you to go and set it up to where it's something that you continuously work on through life. Stop putting just physical things on there. And I'm guilty of this too when I've made plenty of vision boards earlier, but it was really until this year that I really spent a lot of time praying and asking God, like, how do I really create a vision board that's gonna add purpose and make me feel driven rather than just physical things. So remove a bunch of physical things. Like, physical things are great to have, and I'm not saying like everyone has to completely remove them, but those things are going to happen. But I want you to set purposeful things that are going to make you seek purpose, seek improving yourself, seek you becoming a better person. It's going to force you to have to create habits. It's going to force you to have to create goals that will all line up so you can follow that path. That's what I want you to first do. And if you want to go even deeper, I have an entire video on the channel about vision boards, and you can go into that. That's on like one of my first videos on here. Next, I want you to go set goals. 12 weeks. Give yourself 12 weeks to accomplish each goal. It's a part of this rule with the 12-week year from a great book called The 12-Week Year. And I would suggest you read it. It's an absolutely amazing book, changed my life, and it can for you too. Basically, the concept is you set a goal for 12 weeks, and then each month you have a goal for that leads to that 12-week goal, because 12 weeks is about 3 months. And then each week you have a goal that you're supposed to accomplish that leads up to that monthly goal. And then each day you build up habits and goals that lead you to that goal for the week, that go and compound into the month, and then compound into 12 weeks. When you give yourself a short 12 weeks period, you give yourself a short amount of time to accomplish that goal. It's no longer where you have a whole entire year to go and achieve a goal. Because when you give yourself so much time, you keep thinking, oh, I have so much time left. I have all this time left. No, time is moving forward. If you're not advancing, you're being left behind. I'm telling you that right now. That's how life works. Life is like moving like a constant current. Time is always moving. Time waits for no man. So if you stay stagnant, time is going to keep on going. You're going to keep on getting older. Things are going to keep on progressing in life. The world is going to keep on spinning, and you're just going to be left behind. So go and make goals, set up 12-week year. And I have another video on my channel. You can go back to that if you want to go even more in depth to learn about that. Next, I want you to start cutting out things. Look at things within your life. Look at what's holding you back, whether that might be friends, whether that might be a relationship that you're in, whether that might be vices that you have. And vices are really things that you're addicted to. So things like, maybe it's an addiction to your phone, maybe it's an addiction to junk food, maybe it's something like lust. I have videos on those that break down how to break free from things like lust and really fixing your friendships. those are other videos on my channel if you want to go more in depth. But really look at what are things that are vices upon your life. And you know what a vice is? A vice is something that clamps down. It holds you, because that's the only thing that the enemy can do. He can really try and create vices that hold you back from what you're trying to accomplish, hold you back from what you're destined to do. So look at what, truly evaluate, take time. I would suggest you put yourself in a bit of isolation for literally, it can be a few days, maybe just a day, and not complete zero isolation, but take more time to where you're separated from others, to where you're not being influenced by a bunch of other people, by their ideas, by their habits, by their ideologies. You're really getting fine-tuned and looking at your life and evaluating it without the influence of others, because the influence of others, people can be like, oh, but you're not really that addicted, like I scroll a lot too, or like, oh, like you're not addicted to alcohol, we only drink like every month. No, evaluate yourself. Look at what is holding you back, because those vices, if you don't get rid of them now, they're going to continue holding a stronger grip, a stronger vice. It's going to be a stronger foothold upon your life. And then you're going to become a 35-year-old man, and you're going to be wondering, why do I still have this grip? You have things in life, but you didn't accomplish all you thought you would at that age. And you're going to still have these grips, but they're going to be even stronger, because I'm telling you, when you get older, habits are harder to break. Habits are harder to break as you get older, as time progresses. It's just like a tree. If you think about a tree, it takes a little seed to start. And then eventually the roots are the first thing that start. They go deep into the ground, and they go and spread and grow and get deeper into the ground, so they have a stronger hold, and then they sprout out, and you can see the like, I guess the fruit, I guess you could call it, of what's actually the tree. It starts with that stem, and it starts bearing fruit and other seeds. And that's the same thing with habits, good and bad habits. So if you have a bunch of bad habits and you're planting seeds and you're allowing them to grow, and you don't take them out now, if you don't uproot them now, you're going to end up with a big tree that's end up producing other seeds. They're going to lead to other things in your life. So if you have a problem with lust now, it's going to transition to other parts of your life. It's going to fall into your relationships. It's going to fall into your marriage. And if you have a problem with lust, then that can negatively affect your kids, because you're creating a generational curse. You're creating generational problems for your own kids. And you see how like one thing, because you won't stop one thing now, it's affecting and spilling into other areas of your life. So I want you to really look, evaluate, don't hold back. Stop being like, you need to stop being gentle with yourself if you really want to achieve what you want to. And I'm telling you right now, like, I'm not saying like hate yourself, but you need to wake up and go into a period of where you're like, you know what? There are things that are not good enough. I need to stop, because the world will constantly keep saying, everyone, you're good enough. Yeah, keep clap, 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 clap. Yeah, you don't need to lose weight. No, you're fine just the way you are. And I'm not saying you need like to bring hate to people, because obviously it's horrible. And it's great that people are more loving towards others now. But at the same time, we've gone too far in the end of the spectrum, especially in this Western world, where everything is just accepting everyone for like exactly like what they're doing, even if it's hurting themselves, even if it is hurting their families, even if it's hurting the people that are around them. Don't become one of those people. Learn to evaluate yourself. As a man, you need to be able to you're constantly checking yourself, constantly like saying, oh, do I need to work on this? Is this something that I'm really lacking in? Is this something that I need to get better at? That's something that that's something you need to go on. That's why I feel like self-improvement is truly something for every single person, especially men, as we're supposed to be the leaders. We're supposed to be the people really stepping into the future of this country. We're supposed to be leading our families, just like, that's what we're called to do. If you're not improving, you're falling behind. You're falling behind. Stop thinking everything you're doing is okay, because I can tell you right now, there's always something you can work on. Always something. You can be the smartest person in the world, and there's still more to grow, because we as humans, we don't know every single thing there is in the world. There's always something you can advance on. There's always something you can improve on. So advance. Really, really critique yourself. If you say you need to get better at listening to others, you need to get better at, taking advice, then get better at that. That's something that I had to go through. Like learning to, it's still a ever changing process and something I'm still continuing to get better at. And learning to take advice from others and hear other people out. Be quick to hear and slow to talk and slow to wrath. Like those are things you need to get better at. And if you're not gonna be willing to critique yourself, if you're not gonna be willing to, really evaluate yourself constantly, like every single day, like a constant thing, then I'm sorry, you truly don't want it. You don't want to achieve things. You're not gonna be able to lock in, because if you're truly locked in, if you're truly focused, then you're gonna be able, your prime goal is to continue to get better, to continue to pursue and reach that goal. That's what it's all about. That's what locking in is about. You need to evaluate things. And then next, once you evaluate those things and you remove devices from your life, once you set up systems to break free from those strongholds, to break free from those habits, you need to go and replace them with good habits. Replace them with things that are helping you. I want you to think of, who do you want to be? Who's the person that you want to be? For me, who does Christian Noel want to be in 5 years? Who does Christian Noel want to be in 1 year? Who does Christian Noel want to be in 10 years? For me, in 10 years, I want to be able to say I'm married and I have children. And I want to say, oh, I have successful businesses. I have multiple streams of income. I'm able to bless other people. I'm able to bless my family members, bless my friends, and be able to help all the people that I want to, build a strong community of men that I know I'm called to do. Like that, those are the things I want you to evaluate. Who do you want to become? Write down, who do you want to become? And those are, once you write down who you want to become, then you can be able to decide what are the habits you need that are going to lead you to that end goal of becoming who you want to be. Stop just thinking, like, oh, what I want to do, but think about who you want to become. Because if you don't define yourself, if you don't define who you want to be, then you're going to be able to let the world define who you're supposed to be. If you don't define that, oh, you know what, I'm an artist, I'm a creator. If you don't define that now, then you know what the world's gonna tell you? The world's gonna tell you, oh, you're meant to work a 9 to 5. You're meant to be a slave to the system. You're meant to just, live a mediocre life. You see how easy it is if you don't define. You have to create your own definition. That's a part of locking in. You have to define yourself. You really have to take the time and define yourself rather than letting this world just put you into a box. That's what like things, like, think about it. From the time you're in school, everything is putting you into a box. Well, at least in a public school system, everything's putting you into a box to where you can only do this certain thing if you do this. No, break free from those limitations. Break free. Literally live a life where things are limitless. Live a life where you think, it doesn't matter if it's never happened before. I can do it. Stop thinking realistically. Like, if you look at the top people, the most successful people like Steve Jobs, like Elon Musk. I was actually listening to a podcast, and one of the things they were breaking down is that all these people, they are unrealistically positive. They're unrealistically optimistic about things. Like like you think how crazy it is to have a little device that's made of glass that operates like a computer and a phone. Like you realize like you have to think about it. 20 years ago, 20 years ago we were still using DVDs. Like that was crazy. Blu-ray, I don't even think was a thing like 20 years ago. Like think about how far we advanced. There were things like flip phones 20 years ago. Now like the new iPhone is literally as powerful as a computer, which is crazy. And the cameras are better than like even professional cameras. Isn't that crazy? But it all started with unrealistic optimism. I'm telling you, that's the key. You have to believe. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in the ideas that you have, if you don't unrealistically believe in that, then you're just gonna fall to what everyone else is gonna tell you. Everyone else is gonna tell you that it's not possible. And even people that are close to you, and it might not be to hurt you, it might be just trying to help you, because not everyone can see the vision that you have. Not everyone can see the vision that God gave you. God will give. Oh, who I really love, from Dr. Monroe, which I think is someone you should truly listen to, absolutely amazing, is God will literally give you a glimpse. He'll give you a glimpse of of what he's called you to achieve, what he's called for your purpose, what he's called for your destiny. He'll give you a little glimpse of it, but he won't show you everything to go that way. He won't show you, like, directly, like, oh, this is exactly how it's gonna happen, and all this. He won't show you every single step, because then it's just gonna rely on your own strength. You're gonna have to rely on God and truly press in and listen to him and follow his plan. But he gave you that glimpse for a reason. He gave you that. He put that within your heart for a reason. Literally, like, everything is so intentional. Be intentional. That's what you have to be. When you're locked in, you have to be intentional with every single thing. The next thing, be intentional with what you're listening to, what you let in within your eye gates, what you let in within your ear gates, what you let in within your soul, with what you let in within your mind is gonna define you. So if you let in a bunch of negative stuff, if you let in a bunch of junk, that's what you're gonna produce. I'm telling you right now. So you might have to cut out some of the music that you listen to. If you only listen to Drake, I'm sorry, but Drake is not gonna help you if you just talk. Like, if you ever you ever looked at some of the lyrics, and it's just like, like, imagine, like, you're always talking about, things not working out with women in your life, and you can't ever be in a successful relationship, and you want to sing all those things, and constantly play that within your mind. What are you training your mind? I watched there's a short little video that went viral from XXXTentacion, and he talked about how the music industry, they purposely put melodic things are repeated constantly, and you have to be careful with what you listen to, because when you're listening to these mantras, when you're listening to these things constantly within your head, and you're allowing them to play forward, you're training your mind. That's why it's so important. You can't let yourself to watch every single thing that everyone else is watching. You can't listen to what everyone else is listening to. And some people might be thinking, oh, you're kind of crazy. That's like, isn't that over exaggeration? No, it's true. You need to filter what you're listening to, filter what you're watching, because what you take in is what you're going to be able to producing. If you're taking a bunch of junk, you're going to produce junk. If you listen to stuff that's lustful, you're gonna start taking lustful actions. If you listen to a bunch of stuff that's selfish, that's self-deprecating, that's like things like that, it's gonna start reflecting upon your own life. And don't tell me that, oh yeah, I've done all this. Like, you listen to music about murdering people, and you don't murder anyone. Yeah, you might not murder anyone, but, like, look at small habits that you have. Do you have small microaggressions? Because those are little small things that you can get from music. It might not be to the same extent, but there are small things within your life that are taking place that you might not even noticing, just from what you're taking in. So when you're locking in, you need to filter. You need to put a block. You need to put on your blinders. Look forward. Look ahead. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted by all these things that you're saying. Like, be careful what you're listening to. Be careful what you're watching. The next thing, stop getting distracted by women. Stop getting distracted by girls. I'm telling you this right now. If you're going to be locked in, you can't be saying, like, every single girl that comes around, because I'm telling you, there's something powerful that when a man is driven, when you're driven, when you're focused on your purpose, like, it's absolutely incredible how the enemy will send, like, you'll think, oh, all these girls and women are coming up to me now, and they've never have in my life before, because they see that driven, they see that that person that's driven by purpose, and of course they're going to be attracted by that. But also, you're going to bring a lot of the wrong people. It's going to attract all these people that are not worth your time, not worth your attention, not worth the value that you have. And you really have to say no. Push it aside now. I want you to go and write down the traits that are absolute requirement for the woman of God that for the woman of God that you're called to marry. That's what I want you to. I want you to write it down clearly, and you can, once you say these things, like, oh, is this someone that I would bring around? Is this someone that could be the the mother of my kids? Is this someone that is I would proudly be able to say, oh yeah, this is my wife, this is someone I love, this is someone I spend my time in? Is this someone that's gonna add value to my life as well? Is this someone that has purpose, that is moving purposefully, that it has goals, that is driven as well? And if not, no, just say no. Block, ghost. I don't care what you need to do. Don't get distracted because it's so easy, especially when you're trying to lock in. I'm telling you, it's gonna come and they're gonna start showing up, and you just have to ignore it. Like, it's easy. That's what I do. I block. I don't care. I don't want any of that because I know I have an intention. I have a specific purpose that I need to do, and I'm on a time crunch because the only thing that's guaranteed for sure in life is that, like, you do not know how long you're gonna live. Unfortunately, we like to think and live in a world where, oh yeah, I'm gonna live, till like I'm 100. Realistically, you're probably not going to. You have a limited time, and even then, you only have so many years. You're gonna be able to be in your prime, be able to be the peak of your physical condition, be able to be so strong mentally, be able to do all these things so easily. There's only such a small period of time they're able to do those things. So you don't have time to waste. You don't have time to waste on people that are gonna add value. You don't have time to waste on women that are gonna be just in looking at you for your money and only for that. No, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. I want you to write down. And I don't care. I know there are people that say don't write down and don't write down traits. And that was one of the things. But no, I have to be honest. I disagree with that. I'm not saying write down every single thing has to be perfect to a T, because realistically, all of us are growing, and you have to look at yourself as well and say, are you reciprocating those same traits that you're looking for? But I want you to write down. There are things that are just a no compromise. Are you equally yoked? If not, no. No, don't even give it attention. Don't allow yourself to get distracted. Don't make conversations. Don't spend time wasting. Don't spend time trying to get your feelings attached. No, don't. Lock in, stay focused, put the blinders on. If you follow those steps, I'm telling you, within 6 months, your life will change. And the next and last thing, add value. Add value to this world, add value to others. If you're locking in and selfishly, I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna be successful. You're not gonna get back the same value that you want. There's a lot in how this world works. When you add value, when you provide value to others, value will be added back to you. Value will be added back to your own life. So if you never add value, if you never take the time to go and truly help others, to really put others before yourself, then don't expect anything in return. Focus on adding value. Stop living selfishly. Stop living chasing only material things, because though you'll get all those things and you'll just be a rich person with a lot of problems, a lot of mental problems, a lot of internal struggles. And you don't want to be that. I'm not raising a community of young men to be like that. I'm raising you guys to seek purpose over pleasure. That's what you have to chase, purpose over pleasure. Figure out purpose. Once you figure out purpose and you set up goals and systems, you are unstoppable. Unstoppable. And that's what you have to be. That's what you have to be if you want to achieve everything you want to achieve. You want to break out of poverty? Start providing value. Start working towards purpose. Start taking actions. There's never going to be a time you're perfectly ready. Don't ever believe that lie where you have to wait until you're ready. No, start now. That's what I did. I had this whole entire channel. I was supposed to start, God gave me this idea and he planted this seed within my heart years ago. And I'm only just now starting. And it's already growing incredible. It's already growing, and I'm so happy. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful and grateful to all the people that are already subscribing and already liking up the videos and are commenting. And I'm telling you, I'm so grateful for that. But imagine how I should have already started this. So stop, because I kept thinking I wasn't ready. People wouldn't listen. People, what if I don't have enough to say? What if I don't have enough wisdom? No, there's someone out there. You're probably you're at a level to where someone wants to be, someone out there. Whether it might be editing videos, you might think, oh, I can only do basic edits. Well, there's someone who doesn't know how to edit at all. You might think, oh, you barely know how to play soccer. You can do a little few passes and all that. There's someone who doesn't know any of the fundamentals. There's always someone below you that you can teach. Spend time adding value and teaching, and bringing up others. That's how you're gonna raise up yourself. When you bring others up along with you, you bring a community. You build inertia. You're building up. That's how you have to think. Don't think in a world where if you help others and you let the secrets of others and you're teaching everyone else how to be successful and be as good as you, that it's hurting you. No, because when you're teaching, you're also getting better yourself at those things, and then you're helping others. You're building others up. When you build, think about it as like blocks. When you spend the time to build up blocks, build up, and you're just stacking them upon each other. People are learning these skills. People are growing. People are growing mentally, physically, spiritually. You're teaching them to do all of this. You're building communities. When you're doing all of that, then you're raising yourself as well, and you're raising those same people as well. So everyone is moving forward. Everyone is growing. That's the purpose of locking in. Locking in isn't a selfish thing. It's supposed to be selfless. You're getting to a point to where you're dropping all the selfish things, dropping all the selfish ambitions, dropping all these vices, which are truly things that are selfish. You're dropping lust, you're dropping alcohol, you're dropping drugs, you're dropping corrupt friendships, you're dropping all these things so you can seek to help others. And when you seek to help others, when you seek to put others first, people are going to see that and they're going to want to add value back to your own life. That is how it's going to work. So lock in. Let this be the last video that you see where you're like, oh, I need to lock in. Let this be the last video. And if you need to come back to it, rewatch it. Get it into your head. Get it into your system. Rewatch it. Have this video on loop. Come back to this video every single day if you need to. If you need a reminder, come back. Watch it over and over. Drill it into your mind that when you add value, you're going to receive value in return. That this locking in thing is not a selfish thing. It's selfless. You're putting others before yourself. You're serving others. That's how you're going to advance. So seek purpose over pleasure. Rewatch it if you need to. Go out there. Lock in.